Welcome to But Frankly Pierce News. I'm Arthur Fairview. Not content with controlling how and who we vote for, the GOP now seeks to make decisions on who you are.
I can hear again, and I can see. I can hear again, and I can see. But who am I?
But I already know who I am.
Yeah, me too.
Well, stay out of Arkansas.
I was told this week that the nation is looking at Arkansas because I have on my desk another bill passed by the General Assembly that is a product of the cultural war in America. I don't shy away from the battle when it is necessary and defensible, but the most recent action of the General Assembly, while well-intended, is off course, and I must veto House Bill 1570.
Arkansas has become the first state in the U.S. to prohibit physicians from providing gender-affirming treatment for transgender people under 18, after the state's GOP-controlled General Assembly voted recently to override Republican Governor Asa Hutchinson's veto of the anti-trans bill that Hutchinson himself called a vast government overreach.
While in some instances the state must act to protect life, the state should not presume to jump into the middle of every medical, human, and ethical issue. This would be and is a vast government overreach.
So the GOP can't even agree with each other on who they are?
Correct. The state's House voted 71-24 to override Hutchinson's veto of HB 1570T, with the Republican-controlled Senate overriding his veto by a vote of 25-8 shortly after.
The governor's veto is overridden. The bill's passed.
Arkansas Senator Clark Tucker spoke out against the veto, drawing the comparison to segregation laws.
And so what I see, this bill is the most powerful, again, bullying the most vulnerable people in our state.
The new law represents a significant step backwards for trans Americans fighting for equality, and comes as Republicans in a number of states push other policies aiming to restrict trans people from participating in common activities like high school and college athletics. It was only last month when Arkansas banned female transgender athletes from competing. Tuesday's action was swiftly denounced by the LGBTQ advocates who vowed to mount a legal challenge against the law. The Arkansas Save Adolescents from Experimentation, or SAFE Act, passed the state Senate last month by a vote of 28-7. The State House had passed it early March by a vote of 70-22. The law bans so-called cross-hormone therapy, a gender-affirming treatment that allows for trans people to change their physical appearance to be more consistent with their gender identity. The bill makes what it calls an exception for some intersex people with unspecified chromosomal makeup and hormone production, and those with difficulties resulting from previous gender-affirming treatments.
What the F is the GOP trying to do?
Do they think of changing one's physical appearance like this?
Arkansas State Rep. Robin Lundstrom, a Republican who proposed Arkansas's SAFE Act, has made comments that contradict the science of gender identity and falsely positioned trans and non-binary identities as a choice, as well as saying they need to grow up first.
Some of them may choose to be transgender when they're older. That's okay. That's their choice. But when they're under 18, they need to grow up first.
They're telling us to grow up?
Someone should tell them to get a clue.
Some medical groups, including the American Psychiatric Association, have come out against laws like HB 1570, with the group saying that patients and their physicians, not policymakers, should be the ones to make decisions together about what care is best for them.
Logical.
Apparently, the GOP believes they are more enlightened medically to advise us on those subjects.
Right.
The LGBTQ and medical advocates strongly oppose the legislation, which they feared could have significant negative impacts on trans youth. More than a dozen states have considered bills similar to the Arkansas SAFE Act this year alone, according to the American Civil Liberties Union. The ACLU is preparing litigation as we speak, said Chase Strangio, the Deputy Director for Transgender Justice with the ACLU's LGBTQ and HIV project. The Human Rights Campaign, one of the nation's largest LGBTQ rights groups, also said in a statement that it will use every tool at our disposal to fight against this law. In other news, and as a follow-up to the report on the Georgia Jim Crow 2.0 bill, Yertle the Turtle said on April 7th to promote further...
Who?
Yes. Gotcha.
You totally walked into that one.
Nice. Yes, you got me. You got me.
On Wednesday, April 7th, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell issued a warning to corporations in America.
My warning, if you will, to corporate America is to stay out of politics. It's not what you're designed for. And don't be intimidated by the left into taking up causes that put you right in the middle of one of America's greatest political debates. So that's my admonition, and Delta and the other Coca-Cola and the other companies that basically responded to this partisan appeal are doing the same thing. You know, Republicans drink Coca-Cola too. And we fly. And we like baseball. This is a pretty competitive political environment in America, as I just pointed out, a 50-50 Senate. If I were running a major corporation, I'd stay out of politics.
We at But Frankly Pierce News found that to be most interesting, as McConnell pretty much built his political career on corporate funding.
I'm not talking about political contributions.
No? So what are you talking about? You do realize that you can't have it both ways. So how hard did you just bite the hand that feeds you?
I didn't say that very artfully yesterday.
No, you didn't.
I bet that will come back to bite him in the wallet.
Actually, I think we all received the message quite clearly. That's all for this edition of But Frankly Pierce News. Thanks for watching. I'm Arthur Fairview. And I don't care what the people say. I know where their jive is at.